Hi everybody, Ninja Boy here. Today we're going to be looking at this new Five Finger Death Punch album, Legacy. And oh boy, have they had a legacy with making really terrible music. Now I've only listened to... Everybody hates this band. And I've only listened to two of their albums. Their first two albums, which was Way at the Fist and War is an Answer. Way at the Fist was mediocre, but not a do not listen. But War is the Answer was okay and is probably the band's best work. So let's see if Legacy is able to top the first two albums. Track right into okay, we've got a tough crowd to work with. Yeah, this album was absolutely garbage. Everybody Lies is one of the worst songs I've ever heard. And Eye of the Storm is like the only tolerable song I could think. Well, Eye of the Storm and De Oppresso Libre is like the only two tolerable songs from this album. Good God. Now I see why everybody hates Five Finger Death Punch. This is one of the most overproduced, campy, corny, just terrible albums out there. One thing that a lot of people do give Five Finger Death Punch punches for is that the lyrics are absolutely awful from this band. Now, it did seem like that, aside from Legacy, which, oh boy, we are going to get to. Aside from Legacy, the first, 4 to 5 songs at least do improve in their, lyricism and whatever. And then they drop it as soon as, they drop all that growth as soon as Unscathed comes out. When I just hear the one lie, two lie, one lies, one lie, two lies, three lies, four. I was laughing my head off as soon as I found that out. Or as soon as I heard that from my earbuds. So yeah, they did not improve in the lyricism at all. And the overproduced aspects of this album really tries to be Warriors by Imagine Dragons and Disturbed's Sound of Silence at the same time. So, because it's trying to be all epic, all warrior-like and all that stuff, now the power ballads, like In Time, are very forced. And Everybody Lies is one of the worst things I've ever heard. The production in this album is also incredibly terrible. Almost every single song has, one weird thing to it. One thing that's rather jarring, off-putting, makes you uncomfortable, whether it's the clapping in De Oppresso Libre, the random laughing in songs like Joke's on Me and what I just mentioned, Eye of the Storm, and also the 1-2-3 punch of an acoustic guitar, a freaking tambourine, and a godforsaken child's choir in Everybody Lies. Talk about a knockout if I've ever seen one. Legacy is also one of the worst opening songs I have ever listened to. Legacy is the blueprint for almost every single song in this album. Just have, one or two weird, off-putting things inside every single song. Ivan Moody's vocals are not terrible, but it's the vocal delivery and also the fact that the constant switching of the vocals is jarring and off-putting as well, which is something that they have never learned from their first two albums as well. And don't even get me started on how overused that monotone vampire-like voice is being used. in almost every single song. There is only one reason why I cannot give this a 0, and that is the fact that it is the shortest Five Finger Death Punch album, clocking it in at only 36 minutes. I really hope that they finally realize that they are a pretty terrible band. Like, they were probably in the works of making a 45-minute album like they've been constantly doing for the past 20 years, and they realized, okay, this album is absolute trash. We finally see the writing on the wall. Let's cut off 2 or 3 songs. Let's make it our shortest album. So that is why I can't give this a 0, but I will still give this a light 1. With the X mark of do not listen. Holy cow, do not listen to this album. Dear God. So, if you want to recommend me any studio albums or EPs, comment them down below, or you can recommend me them on Album of the Year. To learn how to do that, go watch the video How to Recommend Albums on Album of the Year. You can find it on either my Metal Album Reviews playlists, or you can find it on Ninja Boy's Classic Albums. Make sure you like, subscribe, send this video to a friend, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.